We have these two delicious crab salads, one on a nice flat plate with an orange base with a beautiful like garden of salad. And you see the leaves, tomatoes kind of peeking out of the tower of crab. I'm gonna show you how to make what I'm calling the Waldorf Astoria crab salad right now. I'm going to share with you guys a salad that I love to make in the summer. It's really easy. Is that the Waldorf salad is the perfect vehicle for me to present the crab in this way. So don't get like fake crab, don't get any imitation crab that's surimi, just get the real stuff. Now when you go to the store, I'm gonna let you know that it might be a little bit overwhelming. When you go around and you're like, well, which crab? This one says jumbo lump, this one says jumbo, this one says claw, this one says special. So let me tell you about the different crabs when you see them. On a crab, you may not know this, but there's two big, huge muscles that hold and connect the claws. There's only two on each crab. Jumbo lump is like the best. So if you buy jumbo lump, that's why it's really expensive, because there's only two of those muscles. I like to buy the lump, and the lump is basically those two muscles that are not intact, like they may have like broken apart in the processing, and I'm completely fine with it. I'm getting that exquisite, delicate taste that is prized when you're doing crab cakes. Then after that, you'll have special, and basically white meat from all over the body, and that is what the special is. And that's also great for making crab cakes and salads. At the supermarket, you see something that says claw. The flavor is very pronounced of crab. That's what you want to use if you're gonna make like a cheese crab dip or something like that, that has a lot of like big, heavy sauces. The ones that you use for like salads and doing crab cakes are the jumbo lump, the lump, and the special. The other thing about this crab is edible and completely cooked. It's pasteurized at 250 degrees, and then it's held at that temperature for 4 hours, and then it's cooled. I want to make sure that everybody understands when you get pasteurized crab in these containers, you can just eat it right out of here. Okay, good. The other thing about this lasts for 18 months from the date that it was packaged in your refrigerator at 38 degrees. So if you buy it and you think, oh, I didn't do it this weekend, or hey, I didn't do it for date night, it's completely okay. It's still good for 18 weeks, which is several months in the refrigerator, as long as you have not opened it. Once you open it, you need to consume it within 48 hours. The first thing that you're gonna want to do, you wanna come in with your fingers and just kind of go through and make sure that there are no shells. We're gonna make the dressing that goes along with it, and we're gonna do some sour cream, and we're gonna put some mayonnaise. And then we're gonna get some fresh tarragon. And I know usually I'll say in recipes that you can use, dried, it's not a big deal. And this one you can use dried, but if you really can splurge for the fresh tarragon, then I would. Then the next ingredient is an apple. If you don't have a corer at home, this is how I usually cut apples pretty quick. You want to put the knife over right before the stem, and then you want to cut down on it. You could still like get meat off here. I usually go like that. For celery, I like to peel it. It's almost like a different type of vegetable. Chop it really thin, like 1/8 of an inch. And actually, you don't have to make it with crab. You can put chicken in there too. Look, I got pistachios, and then just chop it. So I'm gonna cut the tomatoes in quarters, just like that. Grab some chives, and then you're gonna chop them really thin. We're gonna cut a 1/4 cup of the chives, and we're gonna split it in half. We're gonna put half in here, and then we're gonna save half of it to pour it on top of the salad when it's done. We put the tomatoes on it, the chives, it's gonna be really nice with the green and the red, and then the white with the crab. It's gonna be amazing. So this is fantastic. We have the cut up tomatoes. We have the mayonnaise sour cream mixture with apples in it, and celery, and chives, and all that stuff. We have the crab in the refrigerator just hanging out, waiting around. You can use any crunchy lettuce that you can find. You can use escarole, you can use frisee, but I'm gonna use red leaf lettuce because of the color. Salt. Now we're going to toss the red leaf lettuce inside the vinaigrette that we just made. I'm going to taste what I call the Waldorf mixture. Waldorf. It does need like a little salt. For the final put together, we're gonna mix in the, what I call the Waldorf mixture into the crab very gently. We're just gonna fold it. I don't wanna like mix it like a crazy wow like that. I just wanna, you know, just slowly. Like the final little touch is some freshly grated ginger. Now before we plate it, even though we tasted it already twice, and one of the things that they teach you in school is to always taste at every step. This is really good. So that's how you make the crab Waldorf salad. If you're interested in seeing the final product all fully plated, click here at this timestamp and you'll be able to see what it looks like in its final presentation. But if you're interested in seeing how I plated it and some tips and tricks to make your plating at home for maximum presentation wowness, stick around because I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay. Well, I'm so glad that you decided to stay to see how chefs plate things, because it really takes a lot of time and a lot of thinking about how you're going to plate things. The first thing you want to think about is the vessels. So on here I have several vessels. I have this blue one that has like a little rim, and I could use this for almost anything. Then I have this other one that is even flatter. I also have this bowl, and they're all very different. I have this bowl. Now they're very, very similar as it relates to the lip that's on it. However, when I think of the salad is, you know, this nice white cream color. There are little peaks of color in it, but if I put it in this one, it would kind of get lost. I wouldn't really use this. I'd use this one for like something dark, like lamb that's been braised that has dark and a wonderful sauce that can contrast off the plate. I'm thinking of contrast for the moment, and I'm thinking of turquoise, this vibrant auburn orange with, this would be great. This would look fantastic. Now the contrast of the green with the lettuce. I love this one because it has pink and then it has some green and also has some like ecru little white dots around. This would kind of mirror a little bit what's in there. Something with a high lip or a low lip. So I'm gonna choose these two. So the first concept I want to introduce you to is the concept of stacking. Stacking is when you stack food on top of each other. That's a difference when you go to a fine dining restaurant or a restaurant that has a really good chef and you see the food and you're like, wow, because it's stacked and there's height in it. Versus you have a piece of chicken and you place it here, and you have some potatoes and you place it here. It's not interesting. It's more interesting that the potatoes were in half of the center and then the chicken, it had some height, and then, you know, you could see some of the potatoes on the plate, but you see the chicken up, and then there's something on top of the chicken or a sauce that's kind of like parading around at the bottom. That's what makes it interesting, and that's what chefs do. It's like with this salad, it doesn't normally have tomatoes on it, but I knew that the salad, because it's basically very beige, and then I left 2 tablespoons of the chives at the end so I can sprinkle it on top. So you have to think about all those things. I have these molds and there's lots of different kinds of molds. I'm gonna use this mold to show you how to stack the crab. I'm gonna grab some of the lettuce and make like a base on this one. And I wanna be careful when I'm picking. I'm not just picking just all light green or dark green. I wanna make sure that I'm picking different colors. I'm gonna grab the mold and put it in the center. Now I wouldn't put this completely in the center because it's not interesting. So I'm gonna off center it a little bit, and then I can fill the other side of it with lettuce. Now if you don't want to grab or pay for one of these molds, use, you know, like a metal can. Like if they're opening up a can of tomatoes, they'll use that. Or they'll use like a tuna can. So I have the plate now. It's not completely in the center, but it's not completely off to the side. I'm gonna remove the mold, so you want to pack it down. So this looks pretty good right now. It's not finished because we still need to give the salad more of a base. So you can see that because this lip isn't high like it would be in this bowl, you can see the salad from far away. You have a wonderful perspective, lots of negative space around here. So now we're gonna start to decorate this one. So I'm gonna grab some of the lighter ones to kind of peek through, because over here I have some darker lettuce, so I want some lighter. Now I'm gonna grab the tomatoes and I'm gonna start placing them strategically around. They kind of cascaded and fell on there. You know, you'll have to decide whether you want some on the top here or not. We have the chives. This looks a lot different than it did when we first put it on there. And we have visual interest on this side because it's like a big chunk of like green, and over here it's very like sparse and it has negative space. Now you see how the chats have been drizzled on the top of the crab cake and then also on the side. I think this looks amazing. I feel like we need some sort of like liquid that goes around. I'm gonna use the liquid that's inside here with the greens. So I'm gonna be very strategic in how I'm gonna place that. And I don't need a lot, I just need some. These tomatoes have tomato water, so I'm gonna grab some of this tomato water, put it around the plate. And it'll provide nice texture because of the seeds that are in there. All right, so this dish looks great from the top when they sit it in front of you, and when it's coming to you, when they're bringing it to you and you see it, it just looks beautiful. You can see straight through it. You don't have to peek over like you would with this bowl. This looks fantastic, and this is a done dish. This is gorgeous. We're gonna do this plate. I'm gonna grab some of the lettuce and I'm gonna put it inside the mold. Then I'm gonna grab a little bit of the mixture. And I'm gonna grab some of the tomatoes. Grab some of the lettuce. And then notice I'm not covering each layer with like all crab. I'm kind of putting a little bit of the crab, letting it peek out from the layer below. So if the layer below has lettuce, I'm letting it peek out when I put the crab on top. You kind of have to peek into the dish. You can't really see it from here that well because of this lip, but that's okay. This is a dish that you're gonna view this way. Now I'm gonna remove the mold and we're gonna see what it's gonna look like, and then we're gonna finish up kind of doing the little touches. It looks really pretty. You can see in between here all these different layers. The contrast, you can see like some of the leaves of the lettuce in there, some of the tomatoes that are in there. So you have red popping out. You have the beautiful contrast against the plate because the plate has like pink in it and like a green and ecru. I think both of these look absolutely fantastic. You have the first one that's a different interpretation and presentation. It's much more luscious, much more thick. And then you have the second one that's in the bowl that looks amazing because inside each of the tiers of the ingredients that were on the outside, on the other one, peeking out. And so it really lends like a really beautiful texture and interest to this. I'd be happy receiving any of these at any restaurant or really at anybody's house. I would be like, yay, this is great. If you want to see more of these videos, let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know if you're going to be trying to make this crab salad. And then if you are going to be making it, make sure you hashtag me on Instagram so that I can actually see your salads. Thanks for sticking around and letting me show you how I plate things. I hope this has inspired you in some way to create wonderful presentations of dishes so that your family and guests not only have great food, but also will be eating with their eyes before the food hits their palate. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe already. And I hope to see you all very soon. Have a great spring.